What's up, folks? It's the old soldier coming at you again from Robeson County, North Carolina on a cool and foggy morning. Woke up this morning, there wasn't no fog around, getting ready to go to work, and it has just rolled in. According to the weather report, there's a massive Arctic blast getting ready to come in from the north through the Midwest into the plains. And of course, we'll get some impact of it here. But then again, there's another hurricane coming up through the Gulf that could meet this cold front side. You know, a lot of weather pattern changes here. And of course, it's that time of the year too. And for those that don't live on the East Coast, we're still in hurricane season here, even though the temperatures are getting cooler. Okay? So, anyway. Another thing. I love bratwurst and sauerkraut, but don't ever eat it for breakfast. Big mistake this morning. It's not quite setting so well. But I got up 3:30 this morning. My back woke me up and said get out of bed, so I followed suit. About 4:30, 5 o'clock, got hungry and didn't really want to fix anything, so I just reheated some bratwurst and sauerkraut, put it on a hot dog bun, and called it breakfast this morning. But enough of that for right now. The best news I've heard in months, not days, not weeks, months, is the confirmation of Justice Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court. And it was a 52 to 48 vote in the Senate, folks. Now you can imagine how that vote went down. I'll leave it at that. But it also goes to show you the precarious balance in the Senate right now with this election that's going on. See, voting, you know, and that's the other thing we've got to realize with this election. It's not just the presidency that's in jeopardy. We could potentially lose the House. We could potentially lose the Senate in this election. And I really haven't been keeping up on the House race. It would be nice if the conservatives of the nation retook the House and take the power away from Nancy Pelosi. It'd be nice to see the conservatives keep the Senate. I don't know if that's going to happen. I just don't know. There's too many tight races on that one. And sadly, here in North Carolina, you know, we had the choice of Tom Tillis, Cal Cunningham, a Green Party candidate, and a constitutional candidate. Reluctantly, and I say this reluctantly, I voted for Tom Tillis one more time. And it wasn't because I like him, but seeing what some of Cal Cunningham's doing here in the state of North Carolina, what he's done, not to mention he's an Army Reserve officer who now is under being investigated for adultery. To me, that just doesn't set a proper example. And I say that to say this: when I was in the Army on active duty, I saw soldiers get busted and lose rank for lesser things. Okay? I saw a soldier that they basically gave him a choice to get out under a general, under honorable conditions discharge, or be court-martialed for adultery. And the thing is, the soldier was single. What you have to realize in the military under the UCMJ, the service member can be single and the other individual be married, and that service member can still be charged with adultery. Now, I've told you before, adultery in the UCMJ can be punishable up with jail time. I don't think it's right, because in the civilian world, if Tom goes out with John's wife while John and John's wife are still married, worst thing that can happen is you got some workplace hostility to two working together. Potentially one or the other could get fired. At the end of the day, nobody goes to jail. Somebody might be headed to divorce court. And for years I've always said that's where the UCMJ needs to change on that aspect. But still, with that being said, here's a man who holds a commission in the United States Army Reserve, and supposedly, and see that he's kind of confirmed one, but there's suspicion and accusations that there have been multiple others. Don't need that person being in the Senate in North Carolina, in the state of North Carolina. We already had one dipstick like that by the name of John Edwards. Laying up with his mistress who had a baby while his wife, God rest her soul, was laid up in the hospital dying of cancer. Now, before y'all say it, you need don't judge. I'm not judging. Maybe I am. Hell, I don't really care right now. I don't condone adultery. I don't. A man and a woman get married and they swear vows to each other and to God, it's a lifelong commitment. Now, before y'all go all half-cocked, I already know marriages fail. I get it. If you've done everything within your power and before the eyes of God, and you and her still can't work it out, then yeah, it's best you divorce and go your separate ways. But during the course of that time, if either party is unfaithful to somebody else, I don't condone it. Now, I'm not going to condemn anybody, because we're all guilty of doing things in our life that sinful, and sin is sin. But to me, it was even extraordinarily more horrendous when Senator Edwards at the time knew that his wife was dying of cancer and went on with this illicit affair and had a child. I just think that's reprehensible is what it is. Enough on that. Like I said, great news. Amy Coney Barrett is now confirmed and sworn in as a justice on the Supreme Court of the United States of America. If anything, that will give us some measure of hope for legislation that gets passed that we know to be unconstitutional, that we've got an ally on our side. Then again, we said that about that idiot judge that, well, let me just stop there, but for the one justice that decided to state that there was nothing unconstitutional about the Affordable Care Act. And he was supposedly a conservative judge on the Supreme Court. And to this day, I think the Democrats had something on him as why he swayed his vote the way he did. Because honestly and truly, there's no way anybody that's a student of the Constitution can say that the Affordable Care Act is constitutional. Because it specifically states in the Constitution that Congress shall not pass any laws or enact any legislation forcing any citizen of the United States to purchase a good or a service. And what was funny is they turned around and stated that the Congress was exempt from having to participate in the Affordable Care Act. And yet it passed. So hopefully we'll see some changes in the coming months and years. In certain cases are argued at the Supreme Court level. I thought it was funny that the Biden camp couldn't answer the question about court stacking, and also that Joe made the comment that the people don't deserve to know. That falls right into the old Pelosi line of, we have to pass the bill to see what's in the bill. Beg pardon? That's like telling me that I have to eat this bowl of horse manure to get to what's really nutritious at the bottom of it. No, I'm not doing that. We need to look at this first and sort this out. But I thought it was rather condescending, though, when Joe Biden did say that the people don't deserve an answer to that. They don't deserve to know. Wait a minute, Joe, who do you work for? You work for yourself, or are you going to work for the people of the United States of America? That's the other thing I got against Joe Biden. He's dead-gum condescending, and he sits on such a high horse that he thinks that he's better than everybody else, but everybody realizes he's really just a dipstick. So, if anything, like I said, that was great news last night that happened. So, but back to the election, the elections. We need to keep a close eye, folks, on the House race. And I say that again to say this, that a lot of the House is the only, is the body of Congress that's supposed to enact legislation involving revenue, the collection of revenue, the disbursement of revenue. And again, the Affordable Care Act, it's another reason why it's unconstitutional, because that bill came out of the Senate. But if the left gains control or keeps control of the House, and they gain control of the Senate, let's just say President Trump wins re-election, now he's got the odds stacked against him, and he's going to have to fight those odds for at least 2 years until the next midterm, where the House could potentially be flipped and possibly the Senate. So yeah, those are just as crucial, folks. Just as crucial. Like I said, if the president wins re-election, but the left gains control of the Senate and maintains control of the House, you think the impeachment that took place this first term was a fallacy and a farce? It could be even worse in the next term. It could be worse in the sense that it could be successful. And I'm not saying it to scare people. I'm just putting the truth of the matter out there, folks. Just keep that in mind as this election goes forth. If you hadn't voted, get out and go vote. Make your voice heard. Some people, I don't know why I'm going to vote. It's not going to change things. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But if you don't, you can't say anything about what happens. It's just my opinion. But other than that, folks, y'all be safe out there. Get yourself prepared for what's possibly coming after the 3rd of November. Keep your ear to the ground, your eyes open. Gather with like-minded people. And just be prepared as you possibly can, folks. But until tomorrow, God bless, take care, stay safe, soldier out.